Hi, this is Mike Kacharski, and today we're going to take a look at AutoHotKeys and how it can be used to help build you some trend logs really fast. So, for starters, we're going to come to this website, AutoHotkey. Go ahead and download the file here. We're going to get the current version, save it, and then go ahead and install it. I already have it installed on my computer. Then we're going to come to the Technicians Corner. We've got a new folder created called Trendlog Automation. And then inside here we have a script writer. And this is a file that we've created. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. I'm just going to put it on my desktop for now. And then today, we're going to delete that version. Today we're going to make the contents of the example folder as well, but you just copy the example back down to your desktop should you want them for reference. So currently in the example folder we have two Trendlog configurations that we would like to build. Let's open up one of them. Here we have the 5 trends that we're looking to build. In this particular example, it's based off of the Facebook MPK VAV application. All right. Cool. Just going to close some of these windows. And we're going to build our first 5 trends. So we're going to open up this script writer, put in the password, okay, and now you're into the script writer, and the first page is actually the last page, saved configurations. This has all the instructions you need for how to use this tool. So we're going to start with step 1. We're going to open up one of the template pages, and we're going to fill it out on that, and we're going to fill out that page. Then once we're done with that, we're going to come back to this page. Alright, so the template pages are these 3 pages on the bottom. Your text here, %5 your text here, or %5 dash %6. Now that's really based upon how do you want to name the description of your trend. If you want to use one of the built-in percentage references, here they are. In case you're looking for a quick reference, what are they? %5 is real popular because %5 is the equivalent of the description of the device. So it's real important that you have a nice ACM builder, properly named everything to start this all off. And once you got that, then you can use this tool. That's really all it's needed, just ACM builder and this tool. Unless you're going to use the %6 short key, in which %6 is based off of the point data file, in which case you need ACM builder plus point data for every single device. So we're going to focus today at %5. I think that's the most popular one. Okay, so let's pull up our example again. And we're just going to fill this out like that. I'm not too efficient at moving my windows around. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay. Did you get the picture? Okay. you want these to be exactly as they are in the list. So, you know, a lot of times it's easiest just to grab the drop-down list and then go ahead and select it. And this list here is exactly as it matches the list you'll see inside Compass 2. When you know units, you do know units. Okay, show BV text. That is an automatic field. You can see here on this line, anytime that this cell is a AI or an AV, it doesn't turn it on, but anytime it's a BI or a BV, it does turn on. Okay, cool, so you no longer have to put anything in there. And then compressed data samples, that should typically be no, in my experience. But if you want to turn it on, you have to manually put a yes where you want it. Okay, and then you want to build trends of the same interval at the same time. Because what this tool does is it looks for the one with the fastest interval, then it looks up the fastest intervals, notification threshold, and buffer. So for example, if you had one of these trends in here that had 60 seconds and the rest 300, well then all of a sudden you'd be using these buffer notification thresholds for all of the trends. You'd be allocating a lot of data for trend logs that don't need it. So keep it simple, build them all the same. Also, try to keep this as long as possible to try to increase the number of trends you can support. Our max samples, that's 30,000 for most sites. If you have a full-born SQL site, then it's really more about how long of the data do you want to keep. And I can help you with those calcs, or we can use the buffer mode reference to get into those calcs further. And then auto archive period, this is also something that comes from the lookup tables that are built into this tool. And remove all but the most recent, that's another lookup table. And then these are all in yes as a standard. So if you have a super heavy trending site, then don't use that auto archive. But then you don't get to keep your data either. You better have SQL. You better have a lot more max samples. But it's a debate for another day. Let's keep on showing you how the tool works. So we filled out this part here. Great. Now come up back to this part, and we're here. Once we've completed with the template, select the template's column, and then paste special values into a gray column. Okay, so here we have the 3 templates associated columns. We were working with the %5 your text here. So I'm going to grab that column, I'm going to copy it, and come over here to an available gray column. I'm going to paste the values, and then we're going to name it. And then if you wanted to, you could go ahead and review what the script calls for. I already see right here an error that it says the hotkey is Control+Shift+2. And I may have wanted that to be my first script, so actually I want to make that 1. So I can come back here, I can make that 1. Come back here, copy, paste, values. Okay, and I got to rename it again. Or I could have changed it in the line of the code. Your choice, whichever way you want to do it, but I think it's always better to update the template and then just follow the directions on the screen. Okay, now we're going to test it. So we've done that part. Now we're going to copy the script portion of the thing. We're going to paste it into Notepad. We're going to compile it into a script, and then we're going to do a test. Okay, and then we're going to do a compass test. So real quick, we're going to grab the script portion. This is all custom code based on your configuration. And we're going to open up Notepad. We're going to paste the script portion. Save as desktop. Example1.ahk. It's important that it has this .ahk extension. Okay, great. Now navigate to that new file location. There it is. And because I've already installed AutoHotKeys that I downloaded, I can now compile it. So right click on it, compile, and now have an executable. So I can now turn on that executable. Now I have a new icon running in my system tray down here. I can exit that program by right clicking on it, saying exit. Okay, I can turn it on again. Some computers are going to have to right click and say run as administrator to get the hotkey to work. Alright, next thing we want to do is test it, make sure it works. So I'm going to open up Notepad again. Then I'm going to just hit the button that makes the script start. So for in this particular example, it's Control plus Shift and 1. Okay, I see it's moving, it's typing some stuff. Now I'm going to hit the stop button, which I programmed to be F12. Okay, cool. And I see the script stopped and it closed. That's important in case things aren't going the way you want them to be. You want to close it real quick. Okay, let's turn it on again. Let's do the Alerton test. So the Alerton test is start with Compass, go to Trendlogs. Just going to delete these were testing earlier. And say add multiple trend logs. Now it's important to define the starting device, the ending device. We're just going to do one device for now. A host device, which has to be on the same network, or the global that hosts that network, and the Trendlog handler. And once you have all of those in, then you come up here to the starting device instance cell, you hit the hotkey combo again. Okay, and then it's done. So it looked like it went through the thing 3 times, and it did. You know it's good because you can just hit spacebar. It's going to automatically start building. Okay, and then it said it is build complete, and I hit spacebar again, and it's done. And I can move on to the next device or the next trunk or whatever the situation called for. Let's review the results. Okay, the results are great. You got the %5 that pulled it right from my database. All the trends properly named for those first 5 we wanted to build. Look at the details here. Okay, the units came through. Perfect. The right buffer size, the right interval, max samples. This is all the way we had programmed the thing to do. And if these settings aren't what you want, you put what you want in there and then it'll build it. These are the settings that I like. Okay, so that was the first 5. So I'm just going to delete that and kind of clean up my thing. I'm just going to do it one more time. And this time, after it's done building, I'm going to take a snippet for future reference. Okay, cool. now we're going to build the other trends that we needed for this particular device. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete these again. Alright, here's the other 5 trends we need for this device. I can see I got AV101, room temperature, probably most important trend. And it's being sampled at 180 seconds with a 1 second interval. Or a 1 decimal place, rather. It's got a different interval than the other 4 trends. So, again, I want to build these trend logs out in consistent intervals. So I know that this is a good and working configuration. Great. Cool. So I'm just going to be sure I have that saved for future reference. All right, now I'm going to do number 2. So first thing I like to do is actually delete all that. And then we're going to delete all that. You can see the blank row came through. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to do these trends. We're only going to do the top 4. AV tab 108, enter. AI tab 2, enter. I'm going to leave that last row blank, but given that it's one of these percentage-based ones, I know I always have to have at least something in the description. If you don't, you'll run into a compiling error even for blank rows. Okay, then oops. This one's going to be room carbon dioxide. That's actually, I think that's parts per million, so. Okay, cool. Those are all 300 seconds, and no interval, no decimal places required. Room temperature set point. I should probably do that one with 1 decimal place. But the set point, so it doesn't get moved in half-degree increments, so it gets moved in 1 degree increments. I don't know. Let's just do it with 1 decimal place just in case. All right, and then all these other settings are going to remain the same, but I'm going to want the hotkey combination to be 2 this time because it's going to be my second script. Okay, so now that I completed that one, now I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste the values here. We're going to call this testing example 2. Alright, and grab the script portion of the document. And I repeat. So that means I paste it in here. We're going to save it for our example. It's going to be example 2. Then we're going to compile example 2. Then we're going to build and test number 2. So we're going to start from afresh. It's always nice to start from afresh, unless it's a designated chain. And we're going to build the chain in just a second. But from fresh, from the template without any modifications, it builds what you asked it. So when you open it up, it always starts up like this. Then you hit the button, Control-Shift-2. Oops, that doesn't look like the program's running. Okay, now the program's running. Starting device instance, end device instance, host handler. Okay, great. Hit the button. Okay, and then it's ready to build. Hit spacebar, and it built them. And maybe I should have slowed down there, but it was exactly what we asked it to do. And that's great. And that's a great and easy way of building trends if you want to open this up fresh and put in the device range and the host device and handler every single time. But what I found is really the fastest way is to build what I call a chain. So the way the chain works is that you put in the range once, then you hit the first hotkey, and you go ahead and hit build, and then without closing this tool, you hit the second hotkey. Okay, so there we go. We got the first one, and we got the range. It's going to build 90 trends, and then I could hit build. It'll take 2 minutes to build it, or let's just pretend it did. Then I go to hit the second hotkey, and what's going to happen is that the show BV text is going to be backwards. The auto archive is going to be backwards. The Excel, a couple of these other fields, they're going to be backwards from what I normally expect. And that's because when you open up this thing from a fresh start, it's a little bit different. So when you're building a chain, you gotta first put it in exactly what you want, compile it, test it, then see what's wrong, and then put those things in opposite. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so let's fix the chain. All right, so what I see that's wrong is that the show BV text is on for these 4 points, and I want it off. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to replace the logic that's there with a yes. And if I want to get the logic back, I could just grab it from this cell and apply the formulas back up, and boom, it's going to change it back. But or even from another sheet, doesn't matter. But there you go. We're going to put that in as yeses. Okay. And we're going to turn on auto archive. We're going to turn on Excel, and then remove all and all entries. So whatever they are now, they're going to be the opposite. So this is a yes. No, nope, it's not. It's a no. Excel. Nope. I do want it. Remove all but the most recent. Was that one of the ones that's backwards? Yes, it was. So we're going to change that. Archive all. Okay, we're going to change that too. All right, that should do it. All right, so let's test that. So we're going to grab that column again. We're going to paste it over there. We're going to grab the script portion. And we're going to go back to here. Save it. Okay. Now, because I'm going to recompile this, I got to exit the old program 2, and then I got to delete the old program 2. Now I'm ready to compile it again. Now I'm ready to open it again. Okay, now I'm ready to test. So, again, we're going to start from fresh. We're just going to do the test with one device instance for the sake of speed. So, hit the first hotkey combo. Alright, hit space. It's going to build them. Okay. Come up here to end device instance again, hit the second hotkey combo. I can already tell you that the auto archive settings look right, and I can see that it's filling out the show BV text the way we wanted it to be. Alright, it's verifying the units once last time. Now it's ready to build. Okay, it's building those. Okay, so there's script 1 with a chain of script 2. Now all we gotta do is build that third script. Okay, so it's gonna go here, come here, and we're gonna do that third one. So I'm just gonna kind of, I know that that third one's is gonna be 4 blank lines, 1 completed line. So it's gonna set up my 4 blank lines first. Kind of housekeeping, but not really necessary, but anyways. And that one's going to be at 180 seconds, and it's degrees F. This one's 5-R and T for room temperature, AV 101. AV 101 for that. And then I could mess with the show BV text, but I'm just going to leave it, and then we're going to compile it and then flop it if we need to. So, alright, so I'm going to come back here, and we're going to rename this column. It's working example 2. Based values. Alright, and then we're going to change the hotkey here to 3. Might as well just change it here just for housekeeping. Okay, save configs. Okay, there we go. We made the hotkey script part. Now let's compile it a third time. Make compiling script number 3. Okay, script number 3 is now running. So you can see down here in my system tray I have all 3 scripts running. Now I should be able to test it out. So I just finished script 2 here. Now I should be able to hit script 3. It's looking like a butte. Okay, good. Okay, so pretty much kind of confirms that, you just gotta use the tool as programmed for the first one and then modify it for the second and the third in your chain. Fourth, fifth, sixth. We even, so there you go, 10 trends for your device. You now have them in the terms of a program, so it's super easy. You bring up a new trunk, you can add the trends, or you have the whole device manager database ready to go, you can add all the trends. Okay, so that's part one. And in that part one, what we've done is we've built these 3 examples. Alright, we're going to sign off, and then we're going to do part 2, which is going to be using those 3 examples to build a whole ACM set of meters, set of trends.